Good morning, everybody, and we are climaxing to Christmas. Nako, malapit na tayong isang taon na naman mag-iintay. Napaka-negative naman, di ba? How time flies. And especially, time flies very fast when it's Christmas because we are all so busy. We're all so busy. The reading of today, the Blessed Mother visits her cousin Elizabeth. Parang there's nothing unusual about a visit except that I think we appreciate visits more during this pandemic because we don't do that very often, di ba? But it was a wonderfully unusual visit. Ibang klase siya. Ibang klaseng meeting ito ng dalawang babae. Number one, there's several similarities between the two of them and for a reason. Number one, both of them are pregnant. Number two, ang pregnancy nila was very unusual. The first one was a 13-year-old girl who is a virgin. She's pregnant without a husband. The second lady is a lady of 60 years old. Ito naman, she's pregnant, but she is already too old and she is barren. Both of them are with child. Both of them impossible cases. Another thing common to the both of them is both of these pregnancies were announced by an angel, meaning to say the child that they're going to bear ay ibang klase siya, hindi siya ordinaryo. Kailangan may announcement. Impossible na nga yung pregnancy nila, may announcement pa, which underlines more how, ibang klase itong pregnancy na to. Both of them were, in the beginning, kind of confused because of these things. May angel, may pregnancy that was predicted. Elizabeth's husband was, tinanong niya, how can this be? The Blessed Mother also asked, how can this be? In English, pareho lang siya. Pero alam niyo po, I don't want to show off, pero in Greek, magkaibang ginamit na word. Magkaiba. In English, the translation can only be one. How can this be? For Zachariah, yung tinanong niya, he found it was incredulous. Hindi ka paniwala. Imposible. Kay Blessed Mother, yung kanyang how can this be? It is incredible. It's awesome. It's wow. Napakalaking bagay. So, they are different in their reaction. For the Blessed Mother, it was, oh, wow. For Zechariah, it was, oh, no. Magkaiba yun. Again, there is a similarity that in this meeting, wow, it was the beginning, it was the spark, it was the start of a ripple that will change the whole world. Talaga po. Kung hahanapin natin, saan nag-umpisa ang pagbabago ng buong mundo, the change in civilization, it started with this meeting of two very ordinary women who were pregnant. And what is also similar to them is this tremendous change, itong grabing pagbabago sa buhay nila na nagbago sa buong mundo, they confronted it not with analysis. Bakit? Ano ba to? No. They did not go on retreat. No. They confronted this difficulty with, they did not go on a reflection. Teka muna. Kakausapin ko muna ang Diyos. I don't say that is wrong. When confusing things happen to us, when terrible things happen to us, nagbigay sila sa atin ng wonderful example, what is it to do? Teka muna, I'll talk to God first. No, they didn't do that. They served each other. They immediately found a way to serve. Hindi ako nagsasabi nito, After the Annunciation, the Gospel tells us, the Blessed Mother went in haste, nagmamadali. Nagmamadali. And confronted by this, ang kanilang naging coping mechanism is to serve, is to go beyond themselves. The young maiden assisting this elderly woman, the elderly woman inspiring this young maiden. There are so many things to be presented here as a lesson. God has been made present in the world, even in impossible situation, in difficult situation. Jesus became present through ordinary people who decided to follow the will of God. Yun lang. People who were willing to respond to His call always. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they do God's will. The Blessed Mother and Elizabeth, they were nobodies. Nobody. They did not hope to become anybody. They were not rich. They were not famous. Tatanungin mo, ako, ano magagawa ko? Sino naman ako? Ano naman ang pagbabagong magagawa ko? I would like to read to you a speech by John F. Kennedy, a speech he made in a university. I will quote, and I quote. He says, "Let no one be discouraged by the false belief, maling pag-iisip, that there is nothing one man or one woman can do against the enormous array of the world's ills." Yung paniniwalaan yan. Hindi totoo yan. Na isang tao, anong magagawang pagbabago ng isang tao sa dami-dami ng problema? Isipin nyo na lang ang Pilipinas. Hindi po totoo yun ang sabi niya. Each of us, ang bawat isa sa atin, can work to change a small portion. And putting all these many diverse acts of courage in the total, it becomes a wave. Every time, I quote John F. Kennedy, every time a person stands for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes against injustice, he sends a tiny ripple of hope. And these ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. End of quote. Alam niyo, isa sa mga minumungkahi ng mga end times is a time will come when we will all be told our sins. Many times we accuse, ano naman kasi pagod ako, kasi nalalagnat ako noon, kasi naman tigas ang ulo niya. Okay, we can reason. But there will come a time when we will see our sins as it really is. Number one, part one. And the part two, the effect of our sins. Ang naging effect niya. I remember there was this friend of mine. He was so distraught. Kasi yung kaibigan niya nagpakamatay. And he blames it on himself. Why do you blame it on yourself? Kasi Father, I was tracing it and I caused this ripple of misery in his life. Ako yung third year high school kami, tinuruan ko siya manigarilyo. Ako ang nag-introduce sa kanya ng marijuana. For fun! Teenager kami. Hindi ko akalain, naging addict siya. Nag-asawa siya. Nasira yung marriage niya. Nagpakamatay siya. Yung mga anak niya hindi natapos sa kanilang pag-aaral. Meron siyang isang anak na nasa jail. Meron siyang isang anak na naging prostitute. Caused by that one ripple, nung tinuruan ko siyang manigarilyo. Para sa atin siguro wala lang yun. Now, just as there is a ripple of evil, alam mo yung ripple, lumalaki ng lumalaki, there's a ripple of evil, there is also a ripple of good. Yung maliit na ginawa mo na yan, it will cause a ripple of good also. These two women, occasioned by this small act of charity to each other, they caused a wave. Kaya po. Kaya po. Hindi hawak nila ito, hawak nila yon. Imposible yan, Father, kasi kontrolado ang mga bagay na to. Father, marami silang pera. Kaya po. Two women, a leader at inang bayan. Every time we do commit ourselves, every time we have a humble presence, every time we do things for unselfish motives without ulterior agenda, Christ becomes present. Kung kaya. He becomes reborn. He is made present. He is made present every time there's compassionate and caring love, thinking and doing beyond our families. Our families, Father, napasimba ko sila. Father, maayos sila. Okay na ako sa Diyos. That is not true. The whole purpose of our families is to be able to help other families. That is the agenda. That is the mission. That is the purpose of our families. Not to stay within themselves. You put a ripple sa isang palanggana. Ganun lang ang ripple no. No. It has to go outside, beyond the family. That is where the ripple will be. Wow, marami. It has to go beyond the family. Kung hindi, nasa palanggana lang yung ripple mo. Christ is not, Kung hindi mo pa napanood ang mga devastation na ginawa ng Odette, please do. You cannot be praying, you cannot be having your devotions, you cannot be disconnected to what is happening in our country. To be indifferent, to be so uninformed. Hindi, Father, kontento na ako. Basta ako, nagrosaryo na ako 5 beses, nag-online mass na ako 4 na beses, masaya na ang Diyos sa akin. Oh, wow, surprise! Jesus will say, sino ka? I don't know you. Ano? Yes. What a golden opportunity it is we have to educate and evangelize our family, together to respond to those who will celebrate Christmas very differently from us. Akala ko, ang pinakakawawa ngayong Pasko ay yung na mga namatayan sa COVID. Magpapasko sila, wala itong mga taong ito. Oh my goodness gracious, may mas grabe pa palang nangyari. Plus. Walang bahay, walang shelter, walang pagkain, walang tubig. Ang pinakagrabe pala doon is the no water. Oo. Pag mahirap pala, we can sleep anywhere, pero no water. And this is Christmas. Oh, wow. Saan bang ibang bahagi ng mundo nangyari ito? Sa atin pa. Because it is an opportunity. Alam mo, dito sa tabi namin, 50 families na sunugan sila. Oh, wow, kawawa naman sila. We're talking about thousands. We're talking about thousands who are suffering. 4 days ago sa news, bago mag-Odette, sinabing ganun, there are 2.7 million new families that have entered below poverty level. Nang ibig sabihin, they only eat 1 meal a day. 2.7 million ang nadagdag. Wala pang Odette ito. Paano na ngayon? I would like to end by showing you a film, a short film. All right? It will show you the impact of whatever little ripple we do. Ang powerful niya. All right? Can you see?
Yes, Father.
You might want to increase your volume.
During Christmas season, sobrang dami po kasi na nagpapag-gift wrap. Nalulungkot to kasi yung mga gift ko, hindi ko pa maasikaso. Tapos kasi busy ako sa pag-gift wrap ng regalo ng ibang tao po. So closing time po kasi late na at instead na may bonding time yun ng parents ko tsaka ng brother ko, nawawala na. Para sa kanila din naman po yung ginagawa ko. Kaya kahit mahirap, tinitiis ko. Para makabawi po ako sa mga sacrifice nila nung nag-aaral ako.
Nagtatrabaho po ako dahil po kay Papa. Kasi po si Papa po na hindi na po kaya magtrabaho. Kasi nahirapan na po siya tumayo, maglakad. Simula po nang nagkatrabaho po ako, para nawala na rin po akong oras sa kanila.
Ang hirap maging waiter, lalo na ngayon Pasko po. Night shift pa ako. Yung tipong Pasko, nagtatrabaho ako, hindi mo feeling yung pamilya mo. Yung may gas akong talagang bumabalik-balik. Naisip ko na lang na ang saya nila. Wala na eh. Ang hirap. Yung tipong sana ganyan din nararanasan ko ngayon.
Sorry, ang dami kong grocery.
Miss, pwede pa bang humabol?
10:43 p.m. Christmas Eve.
Ano yun? Order pa na set meal. Thank you, Kuya, sa tulong mo, ha. Merry Christmas! Lahat ng binili kong grocery, Kuya, para sa'yo yan. Sa'yo nga yan lahat!
Thank you po. Merry Christmas. Lahat ng ginifrap mong regalo para sa'yo yan. Sa'yo nga yan.
Merry Christmas! Itong mga in-order ko, well, actually, it's not for me. It's for you and your family! Ayan sila! Yay!
During the Civil War in the United States, a person approached Abraham Lincoln and said, "We are sure of victory because God is on our side." Ang sagot ni Abraham Lincoln sa kanya, "I'm not concerned about that. My concern is that we are on God's side. We are on God's side. We are on God's side every time we do His will. And His will is what? And His will is to love one another." I'm not saying we give around Coke or whatever it is, or we give relief. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Maybe a little kinder, maybe a little gentler with people we do not know or with people who serve us. Di naman nadadaan sa delata lahat yan eh. Di ba? Maybe something our families can do beyond our families. Beyond our families. When we do things beyond our families. I always say this and I'll say it again because this is what happened to my family. When our parents help us, support us, maintain us, take care of us, we love them. But when our parents support, care, love others, we become so proud of them. In the name of the Father, Son, let us pause for a while and allow God to talk to us.